Don't define yourself in the terms of the world. Don't define yourself in the terms of your body, your senses, your mind, your pranas, your wealth, your house, your popularity, and your relations. Don't define yourself on all this. Because every day when you sleep, all this moves away from you. So deep down, try simple understanding. I'm not the body, I'm not the mind, I'm not the intellect, I'm not the ego. I am Satchidananda. Existence, consciousness, and bliss absolute. Om Nilambuja Shyamal Komalangam Sita Samaropita Vamabhagam Panavu Maha Sayaka Charu Chapam Namami Ramam Raghuvanshanatham. Adorations to Lord Rama, whose complexion is like a blue lotus, who is very tender and delightful in appearance. Sita is seated on his left side, and he is carrying a powerful bow and arrow in his hands. We are in Balakanda, moving towards Doha 196. Lord Rama has incarnated in 4 aspects: Rama, Lakshmana, Bharata, and Shatrughna. And you are at this stage of immense rejoicings within the palace, in Ayodhya, and all over the world. Good news has broken. Rama has incarnated. Tehi ausar jo jahi vidhi awa, dinha bhoop jo jahi mana bhava. During that time, King Dasharatha opened his treasury and generously distributed his wealth. Whosoever demanded or asked for anything was given. Gaj, Rath, Turag, Hem, Go, Hira. These were the things in old time history. These are considered the wealth. Elephants, chariots, horses, gold, cows, diamonds, pearls. But I'm not focused on history. Focused on the subtle insight. Elephant relates to faith-based energy. When you have inner confidence, then you walk like an elephant. Let the dogs bark. You are amused by people criticizing you, by obstacles around you. You are simply amused. The elephant goes his own way. And this simile is further elaborated when you hear these stories of Bhima having 10,000 elephants' strength. Rath, chariots, implying bringing integration in your personality. Allow your horses, the senses, to be under the control of your mind, the reins, Your intellect should not do drunk driving. Should be in order. So putting things in order, that's chariot. And the whole picture is of jnana yajna. If you become the source of jnana yajna, then that's what your objective is. You allow elephant energy to rise in people around you. Bring their chariots in order. And render their horses healthier. That can follow the order. Horses are senses. Gold, spiritual value. Allow divine qualities to develop. That's gold. All other values, they are not so bright and not so unshakable type. Gold remains shining even in adverse, even when melted, etc. And cows, Upanishadic wisdom. If you can't give cows, at least give them cow milk. Bring the wisdom of Upanishads to nourish people. And Hira, the diamond of spiritual wisdom. So these are the profound objects of charity. मन संतोषे सबनिके जहाँ तहाँ देहि आशीष सकल तनय चिरजीवहु तुलसीदास के ईस. The king brought about contentment in the heart of people. His charity produced contentment. For the subtler meaning. Contentment, Santosha. That's one of the great gatekeepers. Gatekeepers for the palace of liberation. If you want to enter into that palace, you have to please one of these gatekeepers. By pleasing one gatekeeper, all others are so interrelated that they are all pleased. But learn to please them not by wrong means. Now, just to give you the idea, Santosha is contentment. And I have already related to you. It's not false contentment. It's a dynamic quality. If you have Santosha, you will put forth all your energy in the right direction. If you don't have Santosha, then your energies you hold under nervous tension. You're looking for, is it going to give me what I want? Then I will put my. If not, I would. I'll cheat them. The Santosha is a profound understanding that you lack nothing. So don't compare yourself with others. Trust God. He has given you all that is needed for your evolution. So therefore, utilize what you have and wait what comes to you. It's wow. Another gatekeeper, Shama, serenity. Allowing your mind not to swing to changing situations that present themselves in your daily life, but allow your mind to be calm, serene. That quality can be developed by Satsanga, study of scriptures, japa. As you gradually begin to taste the joy of discovering the immense potentiality of your soul, and the whole project of discovery so profound and joyous that happenings of the world have very little meaning. Clouds and all their activities have very little meaning for the sky. If that type of development, movement commences, that's called path of serenity. You don't allow your mind to just let it swing. The trees have to swing, but swing in order to be rooted, not to be scattered. So that's quality of Shama. Varying situations, they are like waves, but you are diving into the ocean. Satsanga, good association. Satsangatve nihasangatvam, that I have discussed many times. Satsanga allows you to develop that subtle aspiration. Every soul has instinctive urge to attain Satchit Ananda. And Satsanga awakens that urge, puts it in the right direction. Tat Swarg Apavarg Sukha Dharya Tulaika Anga. All the pleasures and all the prosperities, all the rejoicings of this world as well as heavenly worlds, put them all together on one side of a weighing scales. And few moments of satsanga that has rung the bell within your heart for enlightenment, put it on the other. And that outweighs all. Because all this has only one defect, just a little perishable. The other one, eternity, immortal. That's a big difference. And Vichara. Vichara is opening the mind to understand. Human mind faces so many things. But what is most direct, most vital, that escapes the mind. To make one understand you are not the body, you are soul. It takes long process. Volumes have been written. Lots of discipline are presented. People can become great scholars reading all the Vedas. And yet, simple understanding that the real you has nothing to do with the world of time, space, causation. That's one point. Another point, this entire world process that extends before your mind from beginningless, millions and trillions of years, also going to stay on unendingly. The entire world process is I am. Each time when you go to sleep, the divine Guru, God, gives you simple lessons. In deep sleep, the entire world moves away from you. And you don't miss anything. Implying the world has no bearing upon you. Don't define yourself in the terms of the world. Don't define yourself in the terms of your body, your senses, your mind, your pranas, your wealth, your house, your popularity, and your relations. Don't define yourself on all this. Because every day when you sleep, all this moves away from you. So deep down, try simple understanding. I'm not the body, I'm not the mind, I'm not the intellect, I'm not the ego. I am Satchidananda. Existence, consciousness, and bliss absolute. The next big lesson that you receive every night, while sleeping, you suddenly slip from sleep into dream world. While dreaming, the dream world is a replica of the day-to-day life. You have all that same situation. You are worrying about things that happened in the past. You are worrying about how things will happen in future. If in waking state you have 5 children, in dream you can have 10 children. I'm joking, but it's the reality of dream. And people who don't exist, you are exceedingly worried about them. You go through accidents, find yourself terrorized, as well as you get amazing prosperity. And how big is the dream world? How many people live in there? All that has emerged out of your consciousness. All that is you lying on the bed. Follow that to come to higher level of understanding. Exactly in the same way, all the world that your mind has conceived of, all the world you have studied, gathered different types of knowledge from so many branches of science, etc. All that world, I am. I'm not referring to this I am, all I am, the only one I am. So that's profound lesson of Vedanta is being given to you day by day in a very simple manner. But the mind doesn't grasp it. Vichara is that process leading you to understand this point in a profound way and assimilate it. So if you bring in your life all these qualities, serenity, Santosha, contentment, serenity is Shama, Santosha is contentment, Satsanga, good association, Vichara, Vedantic reflection. All these are inseparable. described through 4 points, just like a person raises his hand. Look, showing 4 fingers, but 4 fingers are pointing to the same goal. So I became diverted by that Santosha word. Manu Santoshe Sabanike. King Dasharatha promoted that great quality of contentment with people around him. Tulsi Ramayana has been written in, and all the scriptures. If you are highly advanced, you draw profound knowledge. But if you are not, you are still drawing certain instructions in simple terms. Don't give gifts, those types of gifts that will make the receivers mad. In other words, don't give them drugs and marijuanas and things of that nature. I'm speaking allegorical terms as well as practical terms. In other words, if you are giving advice, don't give wrong advice for some egoistic purpose. Or whatsoever you are giving. I will not elaborate on that, otherwise the whole story waits. So all those people receiving these gifts, being highly contented, drenched with enjoyment, they bestowed blessings for all the 4 children, babies. May these children of Dasharatha live long. Chirajiva hu. Jeete raho. कछुक दिवस बीते यही भांति जात न जानिए दिन अरु राति. Some time passed, and people were, especially Dasharatha and the queens, and of course all people associated with this Rama's birth. And speaking from a very advanced point of view, the whole world rejoiced Rama's birth, the birth of the 4 divine aspects of Rama. In that rejoicing, they forgot about day or night. And that's simply a simple truth. If you are doing something extremely fascinating to your mind, families involved with marriage, celebrations, or any type of great festivity, birthdays, or so forth. It doesn't matter, day or night. You are busy counting the things that you have to give even in the middle of the night. Time passes on, who cares? And profounder truth. Time relates to the mind. It is not the truth. Beyond mind, there is no time. Sleep is your illustration. And therefore, if inward peace and joy has been restored, I'm talking about even in degrees, if you don't have to be absolutely enlightened, but to the extent you develop that inner peace, you are not burdened by time. Time passes on and you don't go on building stress. नाम करण कर अवसर जानी भूप बोली पठये मुनि ज्ञानी. And now came the occasion for naming ceremony. नामकरण संस्कार करि पूजा भूपति अस भाषा धरिये नाम जो मुनि गुनि राखा. इनके नाम अनेक अनूपा मैं नृप कहब स्वमति अनुरूपा. King Dasharatha, having adored sage Vasishtha, who is the Muni, said, O Muni, O sage, please give suitable name to my child. That's Rama. And sage said, O king, this divine being has many names. And I will give him one name according to my wisdom, according to my intellect. Jo ananda sindhu sukha rasi si karte trailoka supasi. So sukha dham rama asanama akhil lokadayaka vishrama. That absolute self, who is the ocean of bliss, abode of joy, just a drop from that ocean makes the three lokas happy. His name is Rama, with the abode of joy and bestower of peace to all the lokas, all the planes, all the universe. Now this is Rama mantra. Rama mantra here is same as Brahman of the Upanishads. Upanishads evolved, first they evolved the name Om. Om became more abstract. With Om, there is no story about Om. Where was it born? So it requires a totally different type of mind to become fascinated by Om. Sages, therefore, came up with another Ram. With the only difference is Om starts with O, Ram starts with Ra. All end with M. Om, Ram, M is Ananda, absolute. R sound is the Bijakshara of the navel center. Agni Bij. And when people talk about Kriya, Yoga, etc., that Kriya starts from the navel center. The real spiritual involvement in navel center is also called Karma Granthi. So if that navel center is spiritually charged, if Kundalini were to pass through it, and awaken that center. Soul will become detached from the body. You will be in the body, but you will not view yourself, I am the body. You will have bodiless experience, even though living with the body. That's with the Ra, you open up Kundalini through the navel center. With the M, Agya Chakra opens, and Sahasrara Chakra begin to shower all the nectar. Ram, as a mantra, has immense impact upon your nervous system, even without going through spirituality. Languages use the word Ram automatically by instinct. All over the world, in every literature, R and M are involved. I have not to elaborate to you. That's Abhiram, Sinerama, Manorama, Rome, Ramajan. There is a language where R and M do not shine forth. Because all languages follow the subtle science, universal science. So that's the name of Ram. But Ram representing Brahman as well as many stages of Brahman, many aspects. Beginning with Sagun Sakar. Rama, as his story is being told, he is Sagun Sakar. Sagun Sakar means he has a form, and you can come close to Rama, be touched by Rama, you touch Rama, and so forth. And that aspect of Rama is highlighted in the Ramayana to make people understand that God is not out of your reach. Develop that type of mental understanding, mental reflection, and that we will gradually detail on that. So as I was describing, let me conclude on that. Sagun Sakar, that's how you allow your Godward movement to commence. Then you come to next level, Saguna Nirakara. Even in human relations, when you are separated from someone, you wait for the person to come, seeing the body, that's Saguna Sakar. But after a while, you don't go on staring on the person from the toes to the head. You begin to communicate with the feelings. The person is there, but that doesn't matter. It's the feeling aspect. That's called Saguna Nirakara. Gun is there, all the qualities, but Nirakara. Akar doesn't matter. You don't go, some dear relative, your son has come from a distance, or after several years, you met the son, and in the beginning, you showed tremendous affection and joy. But afterwards, you are not constantly looking at his hair. Why do you keep that hair like that? I'm joking, but make things clear. And the third level, which reaches the climax, Nirguna Nirakara. Even Sagun, great concepts of God that come to your mind. Sat Chit Ananda. God is infinite. Existence, knowledge, bliss, absolute. There's 1,000 names. And devotees who know 1,000 names say, don't you know that? They say, only 5 names. That's all we have learned. I'm joking, but to make you understand. Concepts are not the reality, no matter how best the concepts. Brahman defined as Sat. Sat is the most wonderful definition. But it is a concept in your mind. Knowing Brahman is Sat, you have not attained Sakshatkar. You attain Sakshatkar when all concepts move away along with the mind. And that realization of Brahman cannot be brought into your words. So, this divine baby will be known Rama. Akhila Lokadayak Vishrama. He is the giver of peace, Shanti, to the entire world. When we talk entire world, focus is on every individual. The world itself doesn't have any reality other than human beings using their brain and nervous system and trying to experience. What you experience through your brain and nervous system, that's the world. But whatever world is experienced by all souls, that world is always understand is the same. I am pure consciousness. Whatever type of news or programs that you receive through your so many cell phones or your baby computers. Each computer is giving a whole different type of news and different type of contents. But the energy behind all computers have nothing to do with all the information that comes through your computer. Brahman is beyond. Though Brahman is the source of, Rama is the source of all. Nothing can be possible without Rama. But at essential state, Rama is beyond all. That point has to be Nirguna, Nirakara. Khila Lokadayak Vishrama, all the lokas. In every plane, there are 3 planes. Bhurloka, the plane of practical reality. Bhuvarloka, the plane of your reality based on your feelings, sentiments. Swaraloka, the plane of intellectual understanding, intellect and ego. All these 3 lokas, they are permeated by Rama. Rama is the reality behind them. And when the intellect comes to realize Rama by intuitional transformation, that's called Sakshatkar. And prior to that, when your heart begins to love Rama, Rama Bhakti. And prior to that, if you bring about purification in your karmas, all the three are interrelated, and I will detail upon it gradually. So that's the Rama's name given to baby Rama, the firstborn child of Dasharatha and Kaushalya. Vishwabharan poshan kar joi, takar naam Bharat as hoi. Son of Kaikeyi, Bharata. The word Bharata means one who sustains all the three planes, nourishes them. Sugandhim Pushti Vardhanam. And what is that? He's the embodiment of bhakti, devotion. So if bhakti develops within you, then all the three planes are nourished in a profound way. So much so that you don't have to worry about liberation. And the general saying is, Mukti Bhakti ki dasi hai. You don't worry about liberation. Previously you thought liberation is like a big queen. So majestic you are frightened to reach. But if you have bhakti, liberation will come crawling towards you. So this amusing literature has come from sages. So therefore the role of Bharata, that role is very profound in the Ramayana. And therefore entire India was fascinated by that particular role, Bharat. The literal meaning is Bha relates to Bha. Bha means light. Light in all aspects. Light of love, light of knowledge, light of practical reality. All light, they proceed from love of God. And it is that love that sustains all creatures instinctively. The love without love, even with the animals and birds. How little babies, baby animals, baby birds, how they become fascinated by their mother. The mother goes to a big tour without holding cell phones. And remembers to come back to his baby. And lovingly pour down to the beak of the baby. See, all that work goes on out of love. That love, when purified, it becomes love of God. It's God's love that has become distracted, become manifold. Just like the sun becomes manifold, reflecting in so many jars. Love of God has become turned into millions aspects. एक दिल के टुकड़े हजार हुए. heart broke into 1,000 pieces. कुछ इधर गिरे, कुछ उधर गिरे. Some fell here, some fell there. And that's the type of world soul goes through. In every embodiment, you had so many near and dear ones. And when you kick the bucket and get into another embodiment, all the pieces of your heart, you don't know where they have gone. कुछ इधर गिरे, कुछ उधर गिरे. But instead of going after the pieces, understand love of God. Again, the moral is not to move away from the pieces. Make peace with the pieces. In brief, understand you are loving God through your children, through your relatives, through your friends, through humanity. Loving God, any form of love, has no validity unless you know that it comes from God and moves towards God. जाके सुमिरन ते रिपुनाशा नाम शत्रुहन वेद प्रकाशा. And Sumitra's two twin children, one is known Lakshmana, another is Shatrughna. This one is Shatrughna, who always went close to Bharata. Bharata and Shatrughna became inseparable pair. Rama and Lakshmana became inseparable. That again is subtle mystic psychology behind it. Shatrughna, the name Shatru relates to enemies. And Shatrughna relates to one who destroys the enemies. But enemies are Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsarya. 6 impurities. Perverted passion, anger, greed, pride, and so forth. That spirit of removing the malas, that aspect of God within you is called Shatrughna. Shatrughna promotes purity of a heart. And another way to understand, Shatrughna plays the role of karma yoga. If you are bringing Rama within your heart, then you are bringing all the 4 brothers within you. Shatrughna turns your action into karma yoga. And karma yoga purifies your heart. Bharata aspect begins to shine. Bhakti begins to shine. Bhakti endows you, promotes the will aspect that represented by Lakshmana. And Lakshmana becomes the source, the fountain source of all divine characteristics of spiritual progress. In simple terms, Davi Sampat. And Davi Sampat puts you close to Rama. When Davi Sampat advances, Tattva Gyan develops, Rama shines, which is wisdom. So coming back to the storyline, Lakshana Dham Rama Priya Sakal Jagat Adhar. Guru Vishishta Tehi Rakha Lakshman Naam Udar. And Lakshmana, who is very dear to Rama and is the sustainer of the world process, following the allegorical story of Puranas. Lakshmana is Sheshanag, cosmic serpent with thousands of hoods, and the entire universe are sustained. The picture is hard to understand, but simple point to understand that all world experience is based on thought waves of the mind. There is no reality, no object. It's a thought wave. It's the mind that makes you experience physical objects. Physicality, even in dream, you touch people and describe what you feel. All that comes from mind. Therefore, anyone who is rendered unconscious by injection or whatever, immediately so many things are done to the body and we are not aware of it. Body doesn't exist. It's a mind. That mind, cosmic mind, holds Lord Vishnu. And that's a figurative description. In other words, when you think of God, you are bringing God sustained by the vrittis of your mind, thought waves. But you make a distinction. Your mind has little thought waves. Cosmic mind has all thought waves. These are boundless hoods of the Shesha serpent. It's called Hiranyagarbha. That Hiranyagarbha enfolds Saguna Brahman. In storyline, Vishnu is always sleeping like that on Sheshanag. That Sheshanag, who is in practical day-to-day life of sadhana, plays the role of dhyana, meditation. Meditation enfolds, as it were, the divine realization. Without meditation, there is no realization. But meditation has to be understood. Meditation doesn't really mean that we'll be always in a steady pose, in cross-legged position. It is a process of internal understanding, inner flow of divine feeling, inner flow of divine understanding. And that Lakshmana, how much Lakshmana is operating through you depends upon how many good qualities you have developed. And so the very word Lakshmana, from that comes Lakshana, Hindi word Lakshan. And it is used in all branches of practical reality. Even in the hospitals, what are the lakshan of this patient? What are the symptoms? They are lakshan. When you are practicing sadhana, am I making progress? What are the lakshans of my progress? Lakshana relates to characteristics. It gives you diagnosis, whether it's positive or negative, whichever way. So Lakshmana is the abode of good qualities, Davi Sampat, and thereby the entire world is sustained. The whole world has a purpose for its existence. That purpose is dharma. And Lakshmana personality brings out the situations that will lead dharma to victory. Yato dharmas tato jaya. But how will dharma within you attain victory? By developing those divine characteristics. Dhare naam guru hridaya vichari, Veda tattva nipastava sutachari, Munidhan jan sarabasa shiva prana, Balakeli rasatyahi sukamana. Thus the Guru gave these 4 names and said, O king, these 4 sons of yours, they are the essence of all the Vedas. They are the wealth of sages and saints. They are supreme treasure for all devotees. They are the very life and soul of Lord Shiva. And now you have all been given this amazing opportunity to enjoy them as your children. Vatsalya Sukha. And with this I'm concluding. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.